So many of you would have seen this article on the front cover of none other than Time magazine. A magazine which used to actually have some interesting stuff in it. A magazine which used to be respectable. A magazine which used to be able to be relied on for some degree of truth. Not anymore, however. Get a load of this. Time, the making of the modern male. Across Asia, men are primping, preening, and spending a fortune on clothes. Why? Because that's what women want. Or so Time magazine is telling us. And I've stumbled across just in the last 24 hours, and I'd like to thank those of you who have shared some of these articles with me. Is men's makeup going mainstream? Why 2019 will be the year of the male feminist, and I'm calling on men to drop their macho act and get on board. And of course, 27 ways to be a modern man. Let us show you how to be a man, right? Let's not let you just be the man that you are. Let's show you how to be the man that the mainstream media, that feminists, that the ideologues, that the soy boys at university want us to be. Right? Now, I'm not going to read all 3 articles down to you, but I've put all of them in the low bar below so you can check them out at your leisure. But the one I'm going to focus on today is by the BBC. Is men's makeup going mainstream? Now, I'd like to give you, and I'm going to say that I don't even think these, I don't know what these 3 individuals are, whether they're, I mean, they're clearly, I don't know, I think I'm using this right, queer, as in LGBT. I don't know if they're male to female trans, female to male trans, whether they call themselves non-binary. I don't know what they are biologically, but this is the picture of they. Right? So this is apparently men going mainstream with makeup. Let that sink in. This month, David Beckham appears. Right? David Beckham appears on the cover of Style magazine. Love 20.5 in Dior, styled by Kim Jones. Green roses and bird tattoos spiraling up his neck. With the lighting and the pose, David reminded me of David Sylvian from 1970s and 1980s band Japan, says makeup artist Miranda Joyce, who worked on the shoot. It seemed right to add eye makeup, the bright blue that Bowie wore in the Life on Mars video. I knew David could make it work, even though it wasn't something he'd done before. It's a great portrait, and yet what got people talking was that eyeshadow. Right? I'm going to show you what that eyeshadow looks like. It looks atrocious. Look at this. See the eyeshadow? What the fuck is that? Right, so because this guy is wearing it, apparently that makes it good when it looks fucking ridiculous. Men are no strangers to makeup. Alexander the Great was a fan, while the Picts daubed their faces in blue woad. Wigs and beauty spots were popular in the courts of Louis XIII. And let's not forget the dandies. But somewhere in the 1800s, someone decided that real men don't wear makeup. And after that, when they did, it was in a spirit of transgression. Bowie, Prince, and Johnny Depp weren't just trying to make themselves look good. They were challenging everything we knew about gender, sex, and society. No, that's not what they were doing. They were starring in movies. They were, on TV doing interviews, and they were wearing foundation so that they didn't have light shining off the fucking skin into the camera off the spotlight. That's what that was all about. Right? Don't pull this bullshit on me. Oh, men just, they used to wear makeup, and then all of a sudden in the 1800s, all this toxic masculinity happened. Then all of a sudden men decided makeup was bad, and that it's disgusting, that it's just for women, and that's oppression and glass ceiling and wage gap. Sorry to everyone I just startled there. But you know what I'm saying, right? So it says, who decides what is cool? Is this the end for real fur? Dries Van Noten on the craft of fashion. But off to the back of the love cover, is men's makeup about to go mainstream? After all, here you have one of today's most famous faces wearing the stuff. Yeah, because the makeup artist, who was a female, thought it was a good idea. And it wasn't. Just saying. And it wasn't. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, let's get back to it. Factor in men's cosmetic line launches by Chanel and Tom Ford, and male makeup artists Manny Gutierrez and James Charles fronting campaigns for US mega brands Maybelline and CoverGirl respectively. You know what? Christine Blasey Ford should be the face of Maybelline. Maybe it's make-believe. And you have all the beginnings of a movement. Plus, Gutierrez and Charles are part of a powerful influencer group of men in makeup, including Jeffree Star and others. Most men, when they wear makeup, is for performance purposes. They're in a play, right? They're in a movie. They're on a TV set. It's a tribal dance. It's for a traditional purpose, right? Men just don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, fuck, you know what? I'd look really hot in like some fucking turquoise eyeshadow today, with just like a little bit of lip liner. No, men don't wake up like that unless the men are very effeminate. And if the men are very effeminate, it's probably because A, single mother, B, significant soy intake, which should be restricted, and again, no testosterone, no male role model, right? All their influences are female. The teachers, their mother, right? The grandmother, the divorced, the grandfather. Like, this is the road we're heading down. And look, fucking, if guys want to wear makeup, that's fine. Wear makeup. But if you're wearing makeup because you like wearing makeup and you think it's going to look good on you, and you're just going to walk down the street and buy your fucking groceries at the grocery store wearing makeup, girls probably aren't going to want to bang you. And that's fine if you don't want girls to bang you. But if you want girls to be attracted to you, wearing makeup probably isn't the best idea. See, I just think it's ridiculous, all these social justice warriors and all of these feminists going, you know what, you should let men express themselves in the way they want to. If they want to wear makeup, you should just let them do that. Like, you do you. If you want to wear makeup, just wear makeup. Do whatever makes you feel good, right? Because that's how women work. They do whatever makes them feel good, and that makes them feel better, and that works for them. But it doesn't work for men. Because what you don't understand, ladies, is if you do wear makeup or you don't wear makeup, there's still going to be guys that are going to want to put their penis in your vagina. There's still going to be guys that are going to want to create a baby with you, or at least go through the process of doing that, right? Now, let's flip it the other way. Because, and I've always said this, right? Women are the gatekeepers of reproduction. Right? You shut the gates, we ain't getting up in there. Like, I know what you're gonna say. Yes, there are some exceptions where crimes are committed. That's not what I'm talking about here. That is a tiny minority, and I do denounce that, right? Strongly denounce that. Any, like, if there's a woman and a man gonna have sex, they both need to be on the same page. They both need to want to have sex, right? Whatever happens after that, you don't just change your mind and go, oh, I wish I didn't do that, so therefore I didn't consent. That's bullshit. If you had sex together and you were both willing, then that's it. Anyway, I'm not gonna go off on that tangent because that's the topic for another day. But women are the gatekeepers of reproduction. If they don't open up, you're not getting in there, son. Right? And if you're wearing fucking like turquoise little eyeshadow and, you know, you got lip liner and you're fucking wearing foundation and shit, the chances of these legs opening, shit snapping shut, boy. You know what I mean? You're not getting up in there. That's not what's happening right now. I said, so don't pretend like a bit of lip liner and some freaking eyeshadow is going to make that go wide open for you. It's not. It's not what's going to happen. That's not how it works. That's not how attraction works. There's going to be, you know, the occasional woman who's going to be attracted to that, and good on her, you know? Like, if there's women out there that want to go for the soy boys and the dudes wearing makeup, that's cool, right? I'm actually happy that those guys can actually get laid. And then they're not incel if that happens. But most of the time, they are going to end up being incel. And, you know, if feminists and the social justice warrior women want to say, oh, you know, you should just let guys wear makeup. Oh, but I'm not going to fuck him, though, because I'm going to fuck the dude who doesn't wear makeup and has got 8-pack abs and a big, beefy chest and a tattoo across his neck that says Chad. Right? If women are going to tell guys to wear makeup and then fuck this dude, right? Enough of these guys wearing makeup are gonna know, no, that's bullshit. I've been wearing makeup for the last 10 years. I've been doing exactly what I got told by women, and that's not working. This guy is fucking everyone in sight. I want to be this guy. So I'm gonna get to the gym, I'm gonna cut out the makeup, and I'm gonna be this dude. But of course, then that's toxic masculinity, because you don't put up with bullshit, right? You can't win, right? You can't win when there's feelings involved. All you can do is do what works. All you can do is be the best version of yourself, man. Stop caring what other people think. Stop seeking validation from men or women or from your family, from anybody. Because the man who answers to nobody is a leader. And people follow leaders. And if you want people to follow you, if you want people to respect you, if you want people to be attracted to you, if you want people to come to you, right? People that you might look at in awe that come to you and say, I need your help. If you want that, be a leader. Right? Don't do what 99% of people are doing. Do what they don't have the balls to do. Do what they don't have the guts or the tenacity to do. Be a leader. I'm going to finish this article. In January 2019, when Charles visited Birmingham in the UK to launch a pallet with Morph, traffic literally stopped. Look beyond the screaming, however, and the status quo has hardly shifted. Boy de Chanel, tagline, be only you. In is a streamlined collection of only 3 products: foundation, eyebrow pencil, and lip balm. In matte black packaging that hardly challenges conventional notions of masculinity. And the boys in makeup? There we go. One of you already called it. One of you already called it in the comments. Right? I haven't even read all the way through this article and I knew it was going to be good. But this is exactly what you said. Right? In matte black packaging that hardly challenges conventional notions of masculinity. And the boys in makeup, they're mostly beautiful, gay, prone to hyperbole, and up to 80% of their million-strong fan base appear to be young girls. You know, young girls. Like the girls you don't want to be fucking, because if you are, then you're going to end up holding onto those bars with a guy that has Tyrone tattooed across his neck up behind you like, yeah, no lube, you like that shit? That's what happens, right? Those are the type of girls you're going to have after you. Not the girls that are 18 plus, right? The girls that are like 13 and down. That's not, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be wearing makeup, I guess is what I'm trying to tell you, unless there's a purpose for it. Or unless it's totally your thing and you don't care that you don't get laid by, again, really attractive, decent women that you might actually want to have some sort of relationship with. And I know that this is a MGTOW channel, right? I know I'm not advocating marriage or anything, but there's going to be some of you guys that are going to have a female-male dynamic between you, right? So you're going to be like, have something going on with another girl. And I respect that. I respect your choice. You just need to have taken the red pill and understand female nature so that you can understand how to navigate that dynamic and also understand the risks that are involved. So that if you make the choice as a man to put yourself in that situation, then you also need to understand the risks that you're taking and what you stand to lose if things go bad. Because quite often they can. Because attracting a woman and maintaining an attraction in a woman are two very different things, right? You can attract a woman with money. You can attract a woman with a car, with a house, but she can take all that with her when she leaves. She doesn't need you. She doesn't need you to get those things, right? She only needs to get in with you to get those things so she can leave and leave you high and dry with none of that. And now, if that's all you have to attract women with, you have nothing left with which to attract another woman. And even if you were to build that up again and then attract another woman with the same shit, the same thing's gonna happen. So you need to be that guy that has the charisma, that has the strength of character, right? That has the stoicism and the ability to call out a woman's bullshit, right? And look, us men, we got some bullshit too, right? And you, of course, want your woman to call that out in a respectful way. You need to be able to call a woman out in a respectful way when you're in a relationship with her, or if you've got some sort of dynamic with her, right? Because like even me working with another guy in a workplace, we have a relationship. That's it's obviously a non-romantic, it's a platonic relationship where we work together to achieve a common goal, right? So if you're in a relationship with a woman romantically in any capacity, you need to understand this. Very, very important. Anyway, let me get on to the rest of this. Why are men still so resistant to ideas of facial decoration? Well, they're told to be, says Glenn Jakowski, lecturer in the School of Social Sciences at Leeds Beckett University. Yeah, I bet he's the chief mangina at that university. By the way, thank you so much to Peppermint Cat's Ass for that generous donation, just because. And thank you to, who is it, Jacob, for the other 10 Australians. Says, keep up the good work. I appreciate you, brother. Despite claims of increasing metrosexuality, gender norms for men are still strong. Analyses of toys marketed to boys, for example, show that the messages are still to be strong, brave, and uninvested in your appearance. No, nobody said don't be invested in your appearance, right? Maybe the message is don't wear makeup if you want to get laid by someone over the age of 13. For girls, beauty is key. But girls see women using their beauty to get stuff from men, whether that be sexually, whether that be emotionally, whether that be financially and fiscally and asset-wise, right? Briefault's Law. If you haven't checked it out, guys, you need to go and look at Briefault's Law. Go to the Psychology Today link. Briffaults. If you didn't write that down, I want you to go and get a pen now, pause this video, whatever you have to do, even note down what point in a time in the video this is, right? I need you to write this down and I need you to check this out. Briefault's Law. Briffaults. Briefault's Law. Very important. The female determines all of the terms of a relationship. That's how it works. Exactly right. Thank you, Beard Fetish, for dropping that in the comments. And Raph, I know you missed Men 101, but I will probably be doing a stream with him and Undead Chronic hopefully tomorrow morning about 7 a.m. Sydney time. If Chronic gets back to me before then, fingers crossed. For girls, beauty is key. Understanding the divide came as a shock to the transgender makeup artist Joseph Harwood. I was the tiny kid with glittery gel pens, he remembers. I didn't appreciate how powerful conditioning could be until the people who mistook me for female told me what was wrong with my skin. It became evident that the boys and girls had different expectations, and I didn't fit with either. Men are often praised for flaws. A broken nose is rugged. No, a broken nose shows that that guy is not afraid to get rough. A broken nose is usually as a result of getting into a scuffle or doing something risky, which are traits, bad boy traits that women love, right? You know this. This is nothing new. This is nothing new at all. Here we go. Men are often praised for flaws. A broken nose is rugged. Chapped skin is war-torn. But there's a full-blown campaign from the start of a girl's life that involves images on magazines that are overly retouched. Yeah, usually done by other women that work at women's magazines like, you know, Cosmopolitan and Vogue. You know, that they're the ones pushing this image on young girls, right? Don't blame me. Don't shoot the messenger. That's how it is. Like, You know, women are women's worst enemies when it comes to these pressures that are put on them. If it wasn't for women putting pressure on other women, right, to wear the makeup and, you know, wear all this fashion, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. It's not men who was like, hey, I want you to wear all this makeup. I want you to do this. I want you to wear these clothes, right? We don't care if you're attracted. In fact, we would prefer that you not wear the makeup, because if you wear the makeup, right, and we think you're hot, but you're not hot without makeup, then we feel lied to, right? We're like, oh, fuck, tricked again. You know what I mean? That's why we call it fake up. Today, Harwood, who is transgender, lends his face to gender-free and vegan makeup brand Jekka Black. Gender-free and vegan. Why the fuck am I not surprised? But if men aren't ready for a bit of rouge, aren't quite ready for rouge, they're definitely up for a bit of spit and polish. Tell you the only spit and polish that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? The male grooming business, valued at $57.7 billion in 2017, is growing exponentially, according to research and markets. According to research and markets, the market is set to reach quite a staggering $78.6 billion by 2023. And we're not talking just Nivea. We're talking moisturizing foundation and bronzers, concealers and brow definers, proper cosmetics. Now, Lava Man 233 just saw David Soy Beckham on a magazine cover with makeup. Jesus. So I actually wanted to show you that picture again for those of you guys who missed it, because I've actually got that picture here. Right? Check it out. Got the green eyeshadow there. Right? It doesn't it doesn't flatter him. That's not the David Beckham that I know. I'm just saying. And it wasn't like he would have rocked up and was like, oh, hey, can I get like some, you know, maybe some like aqua eyeshadow? No, the makeup artist said, I'm doing this. This is a good idea. And I'm a woman. I'm making the decisions about what you're wearing in this shoot. And he just rolled with it because like, well, you know, you're the makeup artist. I trust you, right? Obviously, she shouldn't be trusted. Anyway. Alex Daly isn't surprised. He sets up men's makeup range MMUK in 2012 after an adolescence plagued by acne. See, that's a good reason to have men's makeup, to like cover up acne, or to cover up bruises, or to cover up, you know, when chicks give you a hickey on the neck and you go to work and everyone's like, it's like, oh, what's going on? And all the girls at work are talking like, oh, you know, who have you been seeing? It's like, fuck off. I just want to do my job and go home. After an adolescence plagued by acne, until his mum put some foundation on him. At the beginning, we had 8 or 9 products, and the bravest things we had were a clear brow gel and a concealer stick. But over the years, customers started asking for foundations and bronzers. Obviously, because when they go out to the club, they want to be looking shining, you know what I mean? And I get it. But that's not for everyone. Oh, God. Today, the brand has about 60 products and is stocked on ASOS. It's a completely different landscape, affirms Daly. Blend it like Beckham, it says. Daniel Gray launched his proudly vegan, cruelty-free and produced in Britain men's makeup brand Warpaint almost 2 years ago. Grooming has exploded, he says. We started selling online on 1 November and I'm already taking on more staff. There's a massive market for this and it looks to grow. What we want men to realize is when you say makeup, we don't mean red lipstick. Makeup is putting a nice base on so you can have an even skin tone and feel the best you can. Right? Well, don't you just drink lots of soy to get that to get that glow? And here we go. This is a closer up shot of the thumbnail. Right, so these are the guys they used as the basically as the cover for this article. Right? This is what they want us to become like. This is how they are trying to feminize us. This is what they are suggesting men should aim to look like. Like, are you kidding me? Like, really? Really? Serious? Oh my God. Do men really want to get stuck into color and shine anyway? As most women will testify, the daily routine of putting on your face can be double-edged. Right? On one hand, you have the confidence of presenting your best unblemished self to the world. On the other, you know it's not the full picture. Yeah, because you're being fake. Right? That's why we call it fake up. That's why there's all these memes about going to bed with a 10 and waking up with a 2 because the women took their makeup off. And like, if you've ever gone onto YouTube and checked out makeup transformations, like some of those chicks are fucking hideous and they come out looking pretty good. Right? So if I detect a hint of makeup on someone, I'm just like, unless it's just like the slightest tiny bit and they still look really hot with only a tiny bit of makeup, I'm out. See you later. Here we go. Of course, Julie Bindel. In a recent article in The Independent, feminist activist Julie Bindel pointed out that 15% of heterosexual women polled about their so-called beauty regimes disclose that they apply makeup before their partner wakes up. What a chore. Well, maybe they know that maybe they're either insecure or they know they don't look good, right? Or they know they don't look good. You know, and look, if women want to wear makeup for the whole entire time that they're that their partner's awake, that's fine. That's their choice. That is their conscious choice to do so. Who have we got here? 66 Kaiser Soza says, can you give me a shout out, Sydney? There you go, man. Hope you're doing well. And by the way, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Women in the UK also spend an average of here we go. Miranda Joyce says, Beckerman makeup communicates a certain liberation from the norm, by Miranda Joyce. Women in the UK also spend an average of 474 days applying makeup, during which time they slather up to 200 synthetic chemicals onto their faces and fork out an average of 9,525 pounds over a lifetime, keeping up with trends. Makeup for a lot of women has become a necessity, something they don't feel confident without, admits Miranda Joyce. I really wish makeup could be seen as more of a liberating, playful, expressive device. If the perspective shifted, maybe men would feel more inclined to experiment. And we have another picture. And yes, guys, it is getting to nighttime here now. Sun was going down as I started this stream. So this is makeup vlogger James Charles and Kim Kardashian West. Oh my god. So this is one of the guys in the thumbnail. Wow. Just wow. And thank you to Dragon5 for that generous $10 donation. Says, hell no, why would I want to look like women? Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's almost like if you were to jump on Photoshop, darken that a little bit, pout the lips out, same shit. Same androgynous, cake-faced bullshit. All right. Because it could be argued that the more the lines are blurred between the sexes, the better life will be for everyone. No, that's not how it works. Masculinity is still such a fragile concept. The fact that Beckham wearing eyeliner is headline news shows how little things have changed, says LGBT activist Jeffrey Ingold. Of course, LGBT activist, of course. Because nobody else but LGBT activists give a fuck about men wearing makeup. Suicide rates amongst young men are alarmingly high, and part of the reason for that is the culture of toxic masculinity that restricts what's acceptable for men to do. Not feeling you can be yourself is incredibly damaging to a person's mental well-being. Okay. Suicide rates among young men are alarmingly high because they've got no fathers. They're failing at school, and feminists don't want that to change. I already did a video on this. The UCAS chief admitted that any efforts to help schoolboys is being attacked by feminists. You've got the culture of single motherhood. You've got fathers being removed from homes. You've got a lot of these toxic single mothers that are doing this, telling their sons, Oh, your daddy ain't shit. Your daddy ain't shit. He walked out on me. He walked out on you. He doesn't pay child support. He's a bum. He's a loser. He doesn't give a fuck about you. Couldn't be further. That's still what they get told, right? Could that have anything to do with the fact that the suicide rates among young men are alarmingly high? Could the fact that they are like falling behind at school and feeling stressed, right? And constantly being subjected to all these anti-male messages like the Gillette ad, like bullshit like this article? Do you think that whole toxic masculinity rhetoric, right? Do you think that this constant representation of a single mother with kids on TVs with no dad, right? Because kids know that if they grow up and they have kids, then they're going to be a dad. So where are they in the picture, huh? And feminists don't think about this. So masculinity is not a fragile concept. It's a word that describes traits commonly associated with men. That's all it is. It's not a concept. It's not a construct. It's not some fragile fucking bullshit. There's nothing fragile about masculinity. Masculinity is masculinity. This is what masculinity looks like. Ain't nothing fragile about this shit. Nah. Seeing more men experiment with appearance using makeup would be a sign we're expanding the idea of what it means to be a man, right? Because Ingold wants to actually feel like a man, and the only way that Ingold is going to feel like a man is if he who uses makeup is not the only one using makeup. If all men are wearing makeup, well then he blends in with the rest of the men. But while men don't use makeup, he's the outsider. But yet he still chooses to use makeup. But yet he complains and he wants society to change to him. Maybe he needs to go and see a psychologist who's not a feminist retard. See a psychologist that hasn't been indoctrinated in this toxic masculinity bullshit, in this social justice rhetoric, right? Here we go. Very next sentence. While gender fluidity is in the spotlight, we're still a patriarchal society. Beckham in makeup communicates a certain liberation from the norm. He's a sportsman and a businessman and a style leader. And on the cover, I think he personifies modern masculinity, confident to step out of his comfort zone and experiment. No, a makeup artist decided she was putting some green shit on his eyes, and that's what it was, right? And, you know, he's a sportsman and a businessman and a style leader. He was all of these things before he put on even one drop of makeup to appease you for this magazine, right? Don't think for 1 second that everyone was sitting around going, oh, you know, one day, that David Beckham, he's going to put on some green eyeshadow. He's going to put on some aqua-colored eyeshadow, right? And so we should support him as a sports person and a businessman and a sex object, because one day when he puts on the eyeshadow, then he'll truly be a man. That's not what happened. Everyone loved him before he did this. Now, there are going to be some people that have a little bit less respect for him. And some people, well, I mean, look, I personally don't, because he wasn't the one that chose it, right? He's just like, oh, whatever, you know, I don't give a fuck. But if he were to go home and be like, oh, you know what? That makeup that I had in the front cover, like if he rocks up onto the football field, right? And like, I know in Australia we call like rugby and NFL football, but you know, obviously over in Europe, soccer and football, same thing, right? So if he were to step out onto the soccer/football field wearing turquoise eyeshadow and a lip liner, do you think anybody's going to take him seriously? Do you think anybody's going to take him seriously? Of course not, right? Because they liked him for who he was before he succumbed to the social justice crowd. Anyway, guys, I'd like to know what you thought of this story, and also go and check out the other 2 links in the bottom, all right? To see all of this bullshit propaganda that's being put on us as men about how we're meant to behave, about how we're meant to look like, about how we're meant to act as men. And I want you to share this with every young boy, every young teenager you know, and tell them that they don't need to wear makeup. They don't need to conform to this social justice crap, right? By building on their strengths, right? By being self-reliant, right? By becoming a leader, they will be the best man they can be. Not by becoming an androgynous soy boy and tell them to stay away from the soy, please. Because if they're not going to listen to me, they're going to end up angry and upset. They're going to end up involuntarily celibate. They're not going to be able to find a wife. They're not going to be able to find I mean, by that time it's like, well, fucking marriage is out the window by the time they've grown up, so I don't even know why I'm saying this, right? It just shows how deeply ingrained the blue pill mindset is and how we've got to check ourselves quite often. So yeah, it's like, where to from here? But you know, if the guys want to have any chance of having women allow them access to reproduction, women allowing them access to sexual activity with them, they need to be a bit more like your boy Sydney. Strong, intelligent, have their critical faculties about them. Don't listen to everything the teachers say in school. Tell them to avoid all this diversity, equity, right? Feminism, right? All this bullshit. Tell them to stay away from the soy milk. Tell them to eat organic foods and lots of red meat, so they can grow up tall and strong and attractive, so they can have their dues and basically be rewarded for a lifetime of growing up to be a man. I appreciate you guys. If you like this video and you haven't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button below and the bell next to it. It helped my channel grow. I appreciate all of you that have helped it grow so far. Smash the thumbs up. Comment especially on this video after it's been posted. That helps it trend. And share this with everyone you know that needs to be aware of this indoctrination agenda, trying to feminize men so that women can gain control, because we were not let it take over. Just like Trump said the other day, America will never become a socialist country, and we men will never become women.